As dementia is a progressive illness, here at the Fife service of Alzheimer Scotland, we offer a blend of services to meet individuals' continually evolving needs. COVID has added another layer onto this, and our services have had to evolve very quickly. In this video, we're going to meet some of the people who deliver and attend some of our groups and services to hear how they have been affected by COVID and what has helped them. So first of all, we'd like to say hello to Paula. Paula,
hello.
You come in. Paula, now then, Paula, you are a massive carer, supporter and helper for your mum. You're the rock for your dad. Tell me, what kind of support you receive, Paula, as a carer?
It's mostly either video call or telephone call, but people have made themselves available. They say ring, it's from whether it's from the post-diagnostic dementia support team or the carers support team, the nurses, the dementia, the CNP. Sorry, the nurses that are involved. We did have some visits. That's sort of tailed off again since before Christmas, and that's understandable. But there is an ongoing dialogue, so I know who to ring now, whereas before it was at the start of it wasn't so easy, but we were a year on, so
how has that lack of physical contact, that face-to-face, how has that affected you?
Just because I live with my mum and dad and we're in the house, putting voice to face was very difficult until we started the video calls, which was great for my mum. She likes doing them, actually.
So what kind of help do you think carers really need? What in a nutshell, what would you say that during the pandemic, the videos clearly worked well for you, hasn't it?
Yes, because I'm used to it, but I'm used to using this technology, and that's what you sort of always think about. That's what partly stops me from calling people sometimes, because I think, well, I'm not in as bad a situation as maybe somebody who's really struggling, hasn't got all this, and I think every carer feels that on some level, that don't want to bother people. And I never thought I'd be in this position, because I've been in the other position of helping carers.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that really eye-opening for me, because I have stopped calling the GP, or I have, because I don't want to harass them in this the situation of the pandemic, and or calling the carer support, because I think, well, maybe I'm okay and somebody else needs it more. So I think every carer probably feels that. And the thing is, you get to a crisis and then it's like, we could have maybe stopped that. I realise now I could have maybe preempted that by saying, talk to somebody, because you need to talk. And I never realised that as much, because I'm not a big talker. I am now. I'm getting there, put it that way. And talking is the way through this. I really, sharing experiences, getting other people's observations, opinions, letting somebody know how hard it is at times when nobody else seems to know outside of this, our little threesome. Even my family, my brother, who we talk to every day, doesn't always see the side that we go through, or the sides that we see of the changes and everything. So, but knowing that there are people that talk to you and that they listen and they understand, because they've been in the situation, or they're going through the situation themselves, they know. So it's connection is very important, which the thing we're all struggling with.
Absolutely. That's really, really helpful, Paula. Thank you. So keeping connected, people being quite proactive and making that connection for people who maybe feel a bit reticent to call will be really, really helpful during the pandemic. Right, that's really good. So welcome, Hugh and Barbara. Thank you for joining us. Now then, Hugh and Barbara, you are huge supporters of your loved ones who are at the moment living in care homes. Now, we've heard how difficult it is with no visiting to care homes. Have you found a way to help keep yourselves connected? Barbara?
Yes. we at the present moment, we rely now on Zoom. And we have Zoom calls 3 times a week. My daughter, she's in Dunfermline, my son is in Kirkcaldy. And on these Zoom calls, Mel, of course, was diagnosed with dementia 2016, but it was 2018 before we joined the Alzheimer's group, which made a huge difference. And as you know, we enjoyed going down to the group Mondays and Tuesdays. And one of the favourite ones was the seated exercises and the music. And so since the pandemic and being able to join the group, which is wonderful for me because I'm in the house by myself. And so always when we have these Zoom calls, it used to be we had the telephone, and the telephone wasn't good because Mel's hearing's not very good. But because we can see each other, it makes quite a difference. And I try, we've always been a musical family. So the exercises that Tracey does with us, I do seated ones, of course, but things like, catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, that kind of thing. And Mel joins in. Sometimes, people with dementias, they're silent a lot. You've got to lead the conversation. But as soon as the music starts, his face lights up. And when I say music, it's only me singing, but he joins in. Lovely. I've never actually tried it, with the recorder. But one example I could give you, excuse me, was, at Christmas time, we were doing sort of the jingle bells and that kind of thing. And he was in the lounge. Sometimes he's in his room, but sometimes he's in the lounge where there are other people. And Mel and I were doing the jingle bells, and when we finished, people round about started to clap. So I said to me, I said, obviously they could hear. I said, all right, so well, we'll do another song. I said, so we did, I think it was, She'll Be Coming Round the Mountains, that kind of thing, try to do the actions. And that brings a smile to everybody's face, I think. But it certainly helps me as well.
You have this. You've managed something very similar, haven't you?
Yes, my wife's been in a care home about the last 6 months, and it's slightly complicated. It's not just her dementia is getting more severe, but she's also had severe mobility problems.
That's right.
She can't really stand and walk without assistance. And I think with COVID, we'd assumed that we'd be able to go and visit regularly and take her out for trips and things, but she's been stuck in the home and, just in one room for a lot of the time. We tried telephone calls for the first few days, but that was not very satisfactory. So we've now got an arrangement with the home that we have a video call with her every afternoon at 3 o'clock. And we've now got into the procedure where they actually contact us at 3 o'clock. And we get a better connection that way. They normally contact either myself and our daughter. And we also then call in other people to join the conversation. So the 2 sons who also get, one comes in mostly just for a few minutes, the other one's working during the week, so he comes in at weekends. But we've also been able to include all sorts of friends from around different parts of the UK and overseas. I mean, yesterday we included a friend who recently moved to Orkney, so she had a pleasant half-hour chat with my wife and with myself and our daughter. We've got lots of friends in Ireland who've also joined in some of the chats, with another couple in Aberdeen that we haven't seen for about 2 years because of the lockdown. And I think my wife really enjoys seeing all her old pals and keeping a connection with the outside world.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful news.
Hi.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi.
What do you like about going to groups?
I like everything. I like the music. I like the quizzes. I
I like playing bingo. I just like everything about it. It gives me company. Yeah.
And what was it like going for the first time?
It was a bit. I thought it was a wee bit scary, but once I kept on coming on every day, I started to really enjoy it, and it gives me a purpose to get up out of my bed in the morning, because my day runs round my groups.
That's right. It's great having a bit of routine, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it like the first time you went to the DRC, Audrey? How did you feel then?
When I went to Alzheimer Scotland for the first time.
Yeah.
The first day I went to Alzheimer Scotland, I thought I would maybe not like it because they were all older. So I went along and gave it a go, and it's the best thing I've ever done because I absolutely love the centre. Got a lot of enjoyment out of it. I went to most of the classes. I got to ken all the people. I got to ken the staff, but I got to meet people with dementia, and I just love it. Just love it all. I just wish more people would use the centre like me.
Yeah. Did you come along with someone for a bit of support initially, Audrey?
Yeah, I come along with Sarah the first time. It was my dementia nurse Maggie asked me to go along and to go with an open mind, and I loved it. I used to jump up out my bed in the morning, and I was going to Alzheimer's in the afternoon or in the morning.
Excellent. Me too. I'll jump out my bed and do the same, Audrey. Well, I used to.
Now I look at my illness maybe being a blessing instead of, like, I used to think, oh God, I've got dementia, but now I look at it being a blessing because I thought having dementia, then I wouldn't have been able to go to Alzheimer's and meet all the people and come on the groups, and so I look at it totally different now. Love it. Yeah.
God, I've given me goosebumps, Audrey.
Yeah.
It's great that you can use the internet, but I don't think everybody can.
I struggled to start with because I didn't really could work a laptop and that, but when I got invited onto the groups, my first laptop didn't work, so my son went and bought me a new one, and now I could get it down to a fine art. Sometimes it take a wee while to get on, because sometimes you can't get on, you keep getting kicked out, but then I just persevere and then I get on. Yeah.
You definitely do. I think we're really quite lucky the fact that we could actually still hand out activity packs for the people who can't get on to our groups, and we do a lot of phone calls and things. And also had Connect in Scotland, who very kindly gave us a whole load of laptops and iPads, and we were able to deliver some of these to people who didn't have any devices, and were digital champions who were able to help them out to get connected as well. And there's an ongoing support with the digital champions for the devices that were being given out.
Hi, I'm Faye Smart. I'm one of the dementia advisors here in Fife. And I was going to have a chat to my colleague Caroline, who's an outreach worker in Fife. And I know, Caroline, you've been involved in providing a really important service during the pandemic, which has been our phone service, which has basically been phone calls to people with dementia and carers, keeping them connected up. It's obviously a totally different way of working, isn't it, Caroline? How's it been?
A bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. When we first started out, you felt a bit useless, a bit like you weren't able to do your job properly. Not really communicating with people. It took a wee while to build up a relationship over the phone with some, because they were new to me. But then as time wore on, I realised more than ever that people really needed more than ever to talk, just to let off steam, to laugh, to cry, just whatever they felt like doing on the day for emotional support. I realised actually just how important phone calls were, and the phone calls that we were making as an organisation. It became very apparent from the feedback from carers and people living with dementia, and how much they actually looked for your phone call, were grateful for a phone call. Sometimes you were the only person that they'd spoken to all day. You know, there was no other communication. And a lot of people have also said that, you know, we were the one continuous presence throughout this pandemic. You know, no other services were involved. Having to get other services involved as time wore on as well. Interacting with other agencies, getting them involved with the people that we support too, that became very important. So yeah, it's certainly been a learning curve for me, realising just how important a voice on the other end of a telephone is. So Faye, you're a dementia advisor. Can you tell us a bit about what you do?
Okay, I'm a dementia advisor here in Fife. I've got one colleague, so there's two of us that cover the whole of Fife. And basically we're here for anyone to get in touch with us about anything to do with dementia. So they can ask us questions, they can talk things through with us if things are getting tough, or if they have concerns or specific worries. And that can be on anything from pre-diagnosis right through to end of life, things that people want to talk to us about or ask us about. We can signpost them onto other supports, either Alzheimer Scotland ones or other supports in the community. And sometimes people just want someone to talk their difficulties through, run things past us. It's a free service, and people can speak to us on the phone, they can email us, we can have video calls, and in exceptional circumstances we're still able to do garden visits. Hopefully we'll get back to doing face-to-face contact with people soon too. I guess the point is to try and be a point of contact, so it's hard enough for people to know where to turn when things are getting difficult, because it's a pretty stressful thing for anybody to deal with. So hopefully that's where our service comes in, and being there for people to contact, and to know that we're there on an ongoing basis.